Good morning, I'm Jasmine Anderson. We begin with the cold and calm before the storm. A weekend winter blast will bring us snow, sleet, and rain. The heaviest snow is set to miss us. Meteorologist Rich Van Oland is here tracking the storm for us. Rich, when can we expect to see this wintry mix on Long Island?
Yeah, it's like mostly a Sunday thing coming up, but nasty weather coming up in our way. It's going to be really one of those weekends. Haven't seen a lot of really big bad weather, but headlines say it's a coastal storm, and we're going to keep the eye on the storm throughout the entire weekend here. And this will be, a quick hitter here. We'll see it mostly Saturday night into Sunday. It starts as cold rain Saturday and then goes to just some wet snow and sleet and just not so nice stuff going into Sunday afternoon. So how much snow are we getting? Maybe a couple of inches tops. Not a blockbuster here, mostly some cold rain. And then, when does it start? After 7 p.m. on Saturday. I think the worst of it will be heading into Sunday midday afternoon. That's when we start to see a little colder weather coming in and a mix of some wet snow and sleet and just not a nice Sunday coming up. We'll have the full details and track this storm coming up. Jasmine.
Okay, we got to get ready for it, Rich. Thank you. Family and friends are coming together to remember a Farmingdale teen killed in a crash. A wake will be held today in Massapequa for Dylan Nuccio. The 17-year-old Plainedge High School senior was killed Tuesday. Police say his car crashed into a grove of trees off the Seaford Oyster Bay Expressway. A funeral will be held tomorrow. A Lindenhurst man is expected to face a judge today, accused of stabbing his wife to death. Police say Rysard Murawski killed his wife Violetta here outside of their home on South 14th Street Wednesday. He was arrested here after leading police on a pursuit that ended with a crash into a building. A smoother commute this morning. Trains are back on track on one of the busiest LIRR lines after a crash. Crews worked for hours to restore service after a train hit an SUV yesterday evening in Wyandanch. The crash caused Ronkonkoma branch trains to run on a single track and bypass the Farmingdale station. The driver of the car was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Crews are still working to restore full service in the city after two subways collided in Manhattan. Over 20 people were hurt near West 96th Street when a Bronx-bound 1 train hit an out-of-service train yesterday. Hundreds of people were evacuated from that train and another stuck in the tunnel. Only in Newsday, Long Island's most expensive homes came with waterfront views, acres of land, and some history. Macy Egland and Jonathan Lamantia take a look at it.
Newsday has put together a list of the top 10 home sales on Long Island for 2023, and there's a common theme in that list. They're all in the Hamptons. Jonathan Lamantia is working on this story for us, so let's talk about that #1 home.
Right, so the #1 sale was $112.5 million for the Milestone at Meadow Lane. So that home, it's 15,000 square feet, it's on 8 acres, and you have 500 feet of private beach. Wow. And those are some of the reasons why it got that high a price.
Okay, so number 2 and 3, are they pretty similar in price and amenities?
2 and 3 are actually pretty close to each other, proximity-wise. Number 2 is actually 2 parcels on Windmill Lane. Number 3, interestingly, it's not on the waterfront, but it's what brokers call an important home. And this was a home that Jackie Bouvier Kennedy, as a child, she spent summers there at her grandfather's home there. So, that contributes a little bit to the value of that home.
The history of it, absolutely. So how do these sales in 2023 compare to years past? Are they higher, lower?
This is the fewest sales above $50 million in the Hamptons since 2020. But interestingly, from 2017 to 2019, no home sold for over $50 million. So, it's a little bit unusual, but it's just slightly lower than what we were seeing right after the pandemic when things got, pretty crazy in terms of the values in the Hamptons.
Right. So top 10, as we mentioned, all of them are in Suffolk, all of them in the Hamptons. Is that unusual? Is Nassau usually in the top 10?
With these Hamptons homes, they're the only ones that are really garnering $50 million plus. Nassau, you might see some homes along the Gold Coast, along Long Island Sound, in the multi-millions, but not at that $50 million level.
And I can't even imagine the taxes on these homes either.
Yep, you'll definitely pay a lot in taxes.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, well, thank you very much, Jonathan.
Thank you.
To check out the rest of the list and read more about the homes, go to Newsday.com. Time now for another look at the weather. Meteorologist Rich Van Oland is back with the latest on the wintry mix headed our way. Rich, the heaviest snow is expected to miss us, right?
Yeah, that's correct, Jasmine. Most of that's going to go north, typical for these types of systems that get the water coming in, the warmer ocean water, and then we start to see the mix, and eventually we'll get some snow here for us here across Long Island towards Sunday afternoon. Some of that heavier wet snow could accumulate a little bit, but right now the watches north and west away from the island here. That's where the heaviest snow is going to be. The storm right now across the Midwestern states, Oklahoma, Kansas. This is going to again. Just move its way towards the north and the east, and eventually get us here into later Saturday night going into Sunday. So we start things out here, D.C. area, Beltway. They start to get some of the heavier snow, but right on the coast here, look at our numbers here. Mid to upper 30s across Long Island here for Tuesday evening. So you can get your chores done Saturday after 5, 6, 7 p.m. That's when things start to get dicey. We're mostly pink and green. Notice the numbers and temperatures, mid to upper 30s. So anything that falls, any kind of precipitation, is not going to stick as snow until we get to Sunday towards about lunchtime, noon, 2, 3 in the afternoon. It gets a little colder here, and we get some more blue in here. So this will be a little bit more wet snow coming down. It's not going to stick, really well because the ground is not too cold. So I'm figuring a coating to an inch here. Most spots south of Sunrise Highway, 1 to 3 North Shore. Heavier amounts will be well north and west. So today, chore day, Friday, Saturday, good time to do some chores, 30s. 20s, cold weather, and then we start to get the storminess again. Before 5 p.m. is good for Saturday. Saturday night and Sunday, not so good. Be back with a 7-day forecast coming up.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Home Tax Saver, PTRC Incorporated.
It's the winter season, but what if you could surf indoors? Elisa DiStefano has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
You can catch a wave here at Scotts Point in Calverton. It's Long Island's only indoor water attraction and the most unique sheet wave in the world.
And if you're willing to travel, here are some indoor water park destinations.
The closest and America's largest indoor water park is DreamWorks Water Park in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's home to the world's tallest water slide. On Thriller-Gascar and Jungle Jammer, it's a 7-second drop from 142 feet, as high as a 14-story building. New York's biggest indoor water park is the Cartwright Resort and Indoor Water Park in the Catskills. It's covered entirely by the world's largest Texan transparent roof, so you need sunscreen year-round. Hang 10 on a perfect wave, float down the Adventure River, and enjoy the rides and slides. And it's a Poconos Super Splash Safari at Kalahari. There's 220,000 square feet of family fun for thrill seekers of all ages. Test your bodyboarding skills, challenge friends in the cheetah race, and check out America's first VR water slide with multiple immersive experiences.
But if you don't plan on leaving Long Island, Scotts Point is open year-round. Elisa DiStefano, NewsdayTV. Looks like so much fun.
Read more about indoor water parks on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Swifties flock to Huntington for a Taylor Swift sing-along. It's a story you'll see only in Newsday.
I'm a big Taylor Swift fan. I've been singing her music since I was like 2 years old. We tried to get tickets to the real show, but it didn't really work out. So this is pretty good. I'm really excited.
My daughter is a devoted Taylor Swift fan, and unfortunately, like many teenagers, she was unable to get tickets for the performances, and an opportunity like this to come to the Paramount Theater, a local neighborhood gem in Huntington, and be able to have the Taylor Swift experience.
Taylor Swift just represents positivity, positive vibes, great energy, and I'm really excited to have that spirit here at the Paramount.
Read more about the Taylor Swift sing-along on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Feed Me is brought to you by PC Richard & Son.
The new year is bringing some new dining destinations to Long Island. Macy Egland and Erica Marcus take a look in today's Feed Me TV.
We've got some really exciting new restaurants coming to Long Island, some of them that we already know and love. Food writer Erica Marcus is joining us now to talk to us about what's in the works, Erica.
All right, the first place I'm going to mention is Bar Clementine, which is coming soon to Islip, and I'm leading off with it because it was on our last year's list of things we were looking forward to. A year later, I really think it's going to open this time.
I hope so.
I spoke to them yesterday. This is the team from the Lake House in Bay Shore,
okay.
And this is going to be right on Main Street in Islip. It's going to be sort of a Frenchy cocktail bar. It sounds really cool. I've driven by. It really does look imminent. Then we've got Cara Cara Mexican Grill, which is coming to East Northport. Now, this is a restaurant that's been in Farmingdale for years, just really solid upscale Mexican, and they're going to East Northport, which is not a neighborhood rife with exciting restaurants.
Yeah.
No shade intended. And also up there in Northport, we're getting a new Chinese restaurant called Mama Chan's. Now, Northport has no Chinese restaurants.
Yeah.
And Mama Chan's, for old Long Islanders, will want to know, this is the family that owned Tofu, which was an old chain of like 6 or 7 Chinese restaurants, but it's the kids.
So that's Suffolk County, but we've got some new additions for Nassau County that you're watching as well.
So the first Nassau thing is The Shed coming to Westbury. Now, we've got sheds in Huntington, Sayville, and Plainview.
Hugely popular.
Yes, this is like peak brunch restaurant, brunch anytime you want it. And they're going to Westbury. I think it may be a while. There's still some construction going on, but certainly in 2024. Then we've got in Garden City, we've got Noema. Now, Noema opened last year in Huntington, a big 3-level, very splooshy Nouvelle Greek cuisine. And they're going to be doing the same thing in Garden City. It looks like a beautiful restaurant. It's got a gorgeous outdoor space. It's going to be really, really lovely. And then we've got in Roslyn a place called T-Bar. Now, T-Bar has been on the Upper East Side of Manhattan for, I don't know, almost 30 years. And they also have a place in Southampton. Now they're coming to Roslyn, right downtown Roslyn.
Nice.
And they're taking over what was the Brass Swan, a short-lived sort of loungy place, which took over Roslyn Social, sort of short-lived sports bar, and way back in the day, it was MP Taverna. But that's a really cool space with a rooftop, and it should be really fun.
Yeah, those all sound great. So we were talking about 3 in Suffolk, 3 in Nassau County, but a lot of exciting additions that you guys are covering.
Yes, indeed.
So many options for you. For more on the new restaurants, go to Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
There's nothing like when you finish a story and you have this product that goes out to the world and hopefully brings some truth to, society.
Newsday, covering Long Island like no one else can.
I'm Jasmine Anderson. Thank you so much for watching on this Friday. Be careful this weekend. We'll leave you with a look at your hyperlocal 7-day forecast.